Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture.com.
And I'm Gareth Morgan from WhatCulture.com, and here are some incredible news stories that we have to show to you today. We're going to start off with WWE's Bray Wyatt posting brilliant cryptic tweets about Matt Hardy.
I'm going to tell you all about Samoa Joe and his crazy poker story.
And King Corbin has had a city renamed in his honour.
Very weird, that.
Yeah.
Very weird. But we'll get to that because this is the Good After News. And we're going to kick things off by going back to Twitter, as we did this morning, as we're going to do again in this video. But, you know, if you've been on social media, if you've been perusing wrestling media today, you will have noticed the furor, I guess that's the right word, surrounding a certain comment that Triple H made regarding Paige just before NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 over the weekend. He was talking about Paige, he was talking about Edge, he was talking about both of them potentially returning to the ring, and he had this to say. I'd love to see them step into the ring and compete. More importantly than that, though, I'd like to see them live long and healthy lives. Edge has kids. You know, Paige, she probably has some that she doesn't know of. Paige, a woman responsible for birthing these kids, probably has kids that she doesn't know of. Rather off-color joke there from Triple H, but it gets better.
Oh yeah.
Paige replied, she quote tweeted a clip of this video saying, "Even my boss jokes about me, no wonder you guys still do it too." And her boyfriend, Ronnie Radke, who is quite a spicy fellow, he's involved in, or has been involved in a couple of bands that I'm far too old to understand. He tweeted, this is pretty tasty. It's at Triple H all 2020, little censor there for the editor.
Subtle.
With this lovely picture of Triple H's face, just
Beautiful.
mid orgasm.
I want to say
apparently.
sneeze, but I was being very PG.
Yeah, we've already broken the barrier, brother. And you actually had a follow-up that's even worse 6 hours later saying, "Hey WWE, you should be embarrassed and ashamed of yourselves for letting someone like Triple H run your company and publicly disrespect one of your divas, Paige, biased or not, I hate watching her cry over you. Hasn't she been through enough?" Good question. The answer is yes.
Yeah, he makes a good point. I mean, his reference of her as a diva, probably not the most well-advised move, but yeah, he makes a massive point. She's probably been one of the wrestlers on planet Earth right now that's gone through the most in terms of social media exposure over the last couple of years. Yeah. She's been through the ringer, and she's managed to recover a kind of level of credibility now through her work on WWE backstage, a GM stint as well when she came back. She's managed to not fully mask over what happened, but she's rebuilt herself as a different kind of public figure. And this kind of slur, there's no other word to call it really, it's a slur. This kind of slur has just completely undone all that work, and it's just sent her back how many years? And like she even mentioned in a tweet, if fans around the world are going to keep bringing this up and keep mentioning it, and she's going to keep saying, no, like I'm a different person, focus on what I'm doing now, and then her boss comes out and says it, what kind of a precedent is that setting to everyone else? Like, why would people stop making these jokes if they're own bosses? Like, it's just...
It's a really dumb thing to say for a man of Triple H's stature and power in the business, and you could tell from the reaction on the clip, the people in the room were just like,
So, hey, we're gonna get some coffee with these guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, it's the kind of thing that can probably be solved with a nice little apology, nice little public, very sorry, shouldn't have said this, handshake, let's move on with our lives, unless it's part of a work, but I guess we'll find out at the Royal Rumble.
Nice tasty angle, she came back.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, so our next story is all about Bray Wyatt, and he's been up to his old Twitter ways right now. Because to be honest, he's probably got one of the most underrated Twitter games out there right now. It doesn't get mentioned enough how brilliant he is. Obviously, he's kind of flirting between his Fiend character on Twitter and his actual Funhouse TV presenter. For this one, I think it may be a bit of a weird amalgamation of the two. We'll let you decide for this one. But we've got, "Dear Matt, I could never hurt you. I could heal you. Just like you did for me. When the world threw me away, you were the only one offering to pick me up, and I never forget." This was a tweet sent out to Matt Hardy, if that wasn't clear. I didn't mention that. And yeah, the letters L, E, T are all highlighted, and then M and E is highlighted, and then I and N. Let me in.
See what you're doing there, Bray?
Very good. We like that. We like it. We didn't spoon feed it us, but we found it. Yeah, so it's just quite nice. It's just him kind of like, I guess, nodding back to where he's come from. Let's be honest, that period where Hardy was involved with Wyatt, it was a period where creative didn't seem like they had a lot planned for him, and he was a bit stale, and he'd been let down. Let's be completely honest. He'd been let down through that WWE title run. And Matt I feel like Matt came in and said, this guy's incredibly talented. He's probably one of the most talented people on the roster. We need to give him something to do. Give him to me. We'll make lemonade out of these lemons.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Lake of Reincarnation and all that stuff.
Exactly.
It was a fun little run. I enjoyed the Deleters of Worlds. Unfortunately, it was something that they were never going to present or push to the highest level.
We got a title.
But yeah, they had a nice little title run. They were fun together. They were a cool, unique little pairing. Two stifled creative minds. And this comes obviously at a time when Matt's future has been speculated a lot. It's currently thought that he'll leave WWE in March, 2 months away. So I kind of like what he's doing here is a little bit of stirring the pot because everyone's saying this guy's going to leave, but Bray's kind of teasing something else. Good stuff.
Could you see him involved with the Fiend at any point in the future?
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah,
particularly
like
if they have some wacky interaction. Imagine the Fiend in the Delete universe. That just seems like too much fun not to do in these next 2 months.
Don't dangle the dream. Don't dangle the dream and take it away.
Vanguard 1's going to show up in a little Firefly. It's going to be great. It's not going to happen, but it's going to be great. Please. Let's roll on. Let's roll on through to... It's not really news. It's more of just a cool story that we found while fanning around on the internet, which is our job. Corey Graves, after the Bell podcast, had Samoa Joe on as a guest. And Samoa Joe had a little story. It was taking place just before he joined WWF.
That was a long time ago.
Wildlife Foundation. It was him, it was Christopher Daniels, it was AJ Styles. They were touring the UK with TNA and they came to a poker game in a hotel, a very high stakes poker game, they said. They'd sold a ton of merch money, according to Joe, over this weekend or over this week, and they decided, hey, let's throw a whole bunch of cash in this game, let's do a little bit of gambling, let's put it all on the line. But something happened as they were sitting down for this poker game. Some scamp threw something at Samoa Joe and he saw a figure run by. So AJ Styles said to Samoa Joe, get him. And in what sounds like the most terrifying thing of all time, Samoa Joe charges down the room or down the corridor after this guy, pins him against the wall, and he goes, hey, are you trying to rob our poker game? Fortunately, this guy, who was presumably squirming so much he was melting through the wall, was saved when hotel staff came up and said, hey, Joe, calm down, man, the police are on their way. The whole thing was resolved, but man, there aren't many other wrestlers I'd rather. Well, I have made a mess of this sentence, but Samoa Joe is the last guy.
No, that's you. Why would you want to be? Oh my! I've just got an image of him putting this guy in the cocaine clutch. That's literally all I can see right now. But it's the image of AJ Styles being stood there, having Joe just on this leash, and this guy's running off. Go. Get him. It's like, was it the Lion King? John Lion, he goes, get him. And now the hyenas go.
That's the one.
Just one massive hyena called Samoa Joe.
Uncle Scar, AJ. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Like, I love little banters like this. Little snippets of patter about life on the road.
A little peek behind the curtain.
And hey,
like that.
Joe didn't kill a man, so that's good.
Didn't. Could have. Didn't.
Very close.
Do not steal from Samoa Joe's poker table.
Absolutely
not. Lesson going forward. And now, okay, we've got, I think this is our final story of the day. So, if you are a King Corbin fan, no, not many of you. If you are a King Corbin fan, a city has been renamed in his honour. Okay, incredible. This was apparently only for 1 day over the weekend. I think WWE were in Corbin, Alabama. It is Alabama. Let me just no, Corbin, Kentucky. Sorry, my mistake. Corbin, Kentucky, and it was temporarily renamed King Corbin, Kentucky. A lot of K's. So over the weekend they had that tribute to him. They ran a hand show there. Can't even say it. They ran a house show there. We got that. And the mayor of the area, the Corbin area, came out and awarded King Corbin this honour, this esteemed honour of having the city, the place named after him for a little period. It felt like it was going to be a bit of a ruse, really, because WWE like promoted it online and everything else and said, oh, this is really happening. We were like, yeah. No, it legitimately happened for like a day. And it was, mind-boggling. And I mean, I don't know how you feel about this. Like, it just feels
just weird. This is totally weird. This is one of those stupid made-up things that can only really happen in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
A TV villain guy, stupid man, eating dog food, take that, Roman Reigns, just had a town named after him for a weekend. Although it's totally fitting of the over-the-top pompous King Corbin character, isn't it? I bet he absolutely reveled in it. The heat in that building must have been pretty immense.
Don't see Roman Reigns getting any cities or towns named after him.
Yeah, exactly. Not even Rome, Italy. So, that's got to be the goal after this feud.
Don't blink yet. Could happen. I mean, the European tour has thankfully ended for a while
Yeah.
now, so yeah, it could be next year. We'll see next year. But
That's my terrible idea. It's probably never going to happen. Anyway, thank you for joining us for today's Good After News. You can find us on Twitter at WhatCultureWW. That is where you can send us your Twitter questions. Hashtag this is the news. You can find Mr. Gareth on Twitter at
GMorgan04, and you can find yourself on Twitter
at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for Horowitz. Barry, know your jobbers. Thank you and goodbye.